Welcome everybody to another episode of Puro Pinche Sports. I'm your host, Jose Garza, and tonight I'm joined by my co-host Arturo Ibarra, and we're going to be talking about some crazy shit that's been going on so far in all in July, and we're only in July 13th right now. We've got the NBA Finals, we got UFC 264 happening, we got controversial shit going on with the Olympics, we had freaking soccer going insane. You love it. Art, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great, man. Busy working, enjoying my final days of being a bachelor. But that date is getting closer, so it's exciting.
Hell yeah, man! I'm excited to be part of it. A little of it is. I'm glad to be there with you and your beautiful fiance. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be a fun party. But enough of that shit. That's in August. We're not here about that. Today we're talking about Puro Pinche July way. We're gonna be talking about how freaking crazy everything's been. But let's start with this. Everyone heard my thoughts. Actually, I sounded tipsy as fuck. And so I apologize for how stupid and maybe I slurred in my last episode. Art, I want to hear your thoughts on the Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier trilogy. What did you think of the fight and what happened with the end of it?
So, to be completely honest, man, I was disappointed. I was expecting more of a fight. I'm pretty sure everyone was. Conor was talking big game. He came in, and I know we talked about it with yourself and Mike, that, Conor in the last fight, he came out like super nice and it didn't seem like the old Conor that we knew. And I told you, he came in, he did that money walk and everything. So I was like, I'm confident that he's going to put him a show and everything. He did get taken down and everything on the first round. It was, like I said, it was a good first round. I was looking forward for the second round and see how he was going to answer Poirier. However, those last 15 seconds of the fight, if he would have just stayed down, I think none of that would have happened. Maybe we would have seen that on the second round. But yet again, we've all seen the pictures on it. We've seen the check that he got from that elbow. Hey, bad luck, man, but karma's a bitch.
Yeah. Look, after having a few days to like milk over it and all this shit, because when I did the freaking review, it was like past midnight already, like whenever. And I probably had seen it like that because it's only a 5-minute fight, right? Yeah, I'd see the replay like 3 fucking times, and it's just crazy, man. Like you don't think Conor is going in injured because the way his coach John Kavanagh said it, he was injured coming into the fight. He had hurt that ankle and all that stuff. Like, but the way you see his training videos, the way he was throwing bombs with that kick. The way he was throwing spinning back kicks to Poirier, the way he was throwing leg kicks, body kicks with that leg, you wouldn't know going in, watching the fight that he got hurt before that if he did, right? It's all speculation because it's his coach, right? He's going to defend them and all this shit. That's why I put up the poll on Instagram. Is this a weak excuse or is this a legit excuse? So, yeah, look, he could have stayed down, but that's not Conor style. Conor style is a get up. He wants to bang. He wants to fight. Now, of course, at one point, he tries to put in the submission. He tries to put in the guillotine and choke and does the exact opposite of what the fuck he was talking about the whole lead up of the fight. But let me ask you this, Art. Is as disappointing as that fight ended because we wanted more and it looked like we were going to get more. Conor survived the first round, the ground and pound beating. Do you think this is over? Like it's done? Like no more Poirier, no more McGregor fights. This is it. The trilogy ends in this visual.
Nah, I honestly think there's gonna be a fourth one. Just because it's money. At the end of the day, it's money that he's gonna be bringing in. Everyone wants to see Conor come back and Poirier shut his mouth. That's literally what all the posts I've been seeing on Instagram, all the posts I've been seeing on the news and everything, that it has to be with ESPN and all that, man. Like all they say is like Poirier had it on the first round. Like they gave him 10-8. So it's like one of those things like, all right, Conor keeps talking, Conor keeps running his mouth. Poirier's not gonna let him. So they're gonna come back and do a fourth round. I wouldn't want to see a fourth one just because I feel that it's the same thing that we've been seeing with no disrespect to all the other fighters though, but like with Nate Diaz and the baddest motherfucker holder title, like they're wearing a prime and everything, but it seems that all their third time that they're fighting again or they're fighting and all this, like it just seems like the same thing, like they keep losing, they're not the same fighter. So to me, I wouldn't want to see a boring fight. If he comes out better, hey, you know what? Maybe he'll shut up a lot of people, but I don't know. To be completely honest with you, I don't think they should.
So for those who don't know, we actually tried recording an episode a week ago. It was me, Art, Mike, and Jesse Mendez. You've all seen all of us on here, and we were having our poker night. We're trying to have a recording, make everything happen. I think technical issues. It didn't happen. Art, can you reveal your prediction for the fight prior to Saturday?
So I had said, Conor was going to come in different than he came in the last fight. He was going to come super, like, I'm ready to it. I'm going to take that. I actually called McGregor to win it. So when that happened, and when I saw the guillotine coming in, I was like, man, like, he's not going to do what he said. But hey, he wins the fight.
Yeah.
However, it was, like I said, those last 15 seconds of the fight, I was just like, you would just stayed on the floor, but looking at it further,
it probably wouldn't
go his
matter.
way.
If it didn't happen at the end of the first round, it was probably going to happen at the beginning of the second or anything.
Yeah.
It just takes one throw of the leg kick. If there was a hairline fracture already there, it does not matter what happens next. It's going to happen eventually, especially since he was throwing a lot of leg kicks. I'm pretty sure he was about to end up in the Anderson Silva and Chris Weidman highlight reel. What do you think about Dustin now? He's won the fight. Honestly, he doesn't need to have the fourth fight. Let's be honest. Like, he's got the trilogy edge. He won the last two by knockout, by TKO. Do you think now he's definitely going to fight Charles Oliveira next? There's just no reason not to, right? The lightweight championship is up for grabs between those two. What is your prediction, or what do you think about that fight?
No, I think he does deserve that fight. Like, it's been, I mean, for you to do a trilogy and be like, hey, I've shut him up twice, and every other fight that he's done, like, he's been coming out strong on them. He deserves the title fight. I do believe he has a pretty good chance on winning it. So I guess this is the time that we're all going to see, Poirier actually make his stands on it. I mean, yeah, he beat McGregor and everything, but everyone said, he had a weak chin. So maybe putting it against an actual contender, the champion holder, like, now we'll see, okay, what is Poirier really made out of? I'm not saying we don't know what he's made out of. I'm just saying, like, now he will actually show the caliber that he's bringing to the fight.
Yeah, I think Dustin Poirier is a fantastic fighter. I think he is the best lightweight, even though he is not the champion right now. My early prediction right now is Dustin winning the title off Charles Oliveira. And that's no knock on Charles Oliveira. Dude Bronx is a badass. He's great. He's done well to change his career from where he was in the beginning, being a 500 fighter, to now becoming the champion. Fucking amazing story. But Dustin Poirier is also an amazing story. He was fighting around the same time that Charles Oliveira was doing his 500, and he's had some setbacks a little bit here. The Conor fight, the fight with Michael Johnson, and then he got his title shot with Khabib, and then anyone facing Khabib is going to have a really rough night. But now that Khabib is gone, and he's settled his demons with Conor McGregor, I think Dustin Poirier is well on his way to becoming the next champion. But one last topic before we move on from this fight. Is Conor McGregor still a top 10 fighter in the lightweight division?
If he is, he'll probably be like in the 10th, 9th. But after this, man, I don't really see him as that. I feel like he's just decreased a lot. He's going to have to come back and improve it. 200%, man, like, for him to be back on that talk.
Okay. And just for anyone who's wondering, former guest Jesse, he picked Poirier along with myself, and Mike picked McGregor to win the fight. So it wasn't the fight we wanted at the end of the day. We got a great first round up until the end, but it is what it is. And we move forward to the next fight, which is going to be at more pay-per-view at UFC 265. But we won't be watching it because we'll be too busy watching and getting married. So enough of that. NBA Finals is going on right now. Tomorrow night is Game 4. Give me your thoughts and predictions on everything you've told me, and tell the world what you think of this.
Suns and Fort. Nah, I'm joking, man.
Oh, well.
No,
you're close to what you actually said about
right? Now, before we started talking, like, right when it happened, I believe you texted me right after Atlanta lost. I told you, like, I like the Bucks, no disrespect to the Bucks. but I have the Suns winning it on 5. I don't know. We talked about it this past podcast, and we all said our points of view on why. And the big reason for that is Chris Paul is just he's been wanting a champion, but yet again he has that leadership mentality. So he's taking that team. He took it to the championship. He took it to the semifinals. So it's like I feel like he has it in him, and he's leading that team. Now, during that podcast, that for some reason it didn't get recorded. Like I said Suns in 5, and I did have him predicting, winning the first 2, losing the third one. I think tomorrow they'll win and they'll bring it home. So I know it's you said a lot of disrespect to the Bucks. I love Giannis and everything, but
it's disrespectful as hell.
But yet again, on the first 2 games, we didn't see them play as the Bucks. With the centers, use them and utilize them. And that third game, I just didn't see the Suns playing. I was like, it seems that they're resting. They're taking their time right now.
Tell them what you said about Giannis. Tell them if you thought that he should have come back or not.
I honestly thought they should have waited out the first game just to not put so much stress on their knee. Just from experience from knee injuries, man, they suck and they linger. So for him to just come back, I didn't want it to be another Trae Young where you played him too early with his ankle. Yet again, Giannis, he's the Greek freak. I mean, he has that potential.
That's a freak right there.
I believe the first 2 games, if you saw the games, you saw Giannis playing like the first game, you knew there was still something on that knee.
Yeah,
he wasn't putting too much pressure on it. He wasn't going off of it. The second game, it was still lingering there. The third game, it looked like nothing. So I feel if they would have waited the second game to put him in, I believe they should have won that second game. But
look, completely disagree with everything you said. And you know this. First of all, I do have the Suns winning, just so anybody has clear. Like I do have the Suns winning. I have them in 7, though. I'm not gonna say 5 in a gentleman's sweep. I mean, it's just like that's just disrespectful. One, because look at what the Bucks have done. They've fought off Trae Young, who was destroying the East. He was upsetting the Sixers. He upset the Knicks. The Giannis and the Bucks beat Kevin Durant and the Brooklyn Nets. No matter how hobbled they are, they were the unstoppable Nets, guys. They were going to win it all, and that didn't happen. So we got to stop with this whole disrespecting because it is disrespectful. We're saying Giannis is not good enough to be a leader, to lead a team, to even get 6 in your opinion. And I know on other people, it's not the same thing, right? Like but there are people who did believe Suns in 4. I mean, yes, against Denver, you're absolutely right, but it's not going to be the Bucks. Now, when Giannis, your all-star, 2-time MVP, is going to be in there. Now, when Chris Middleton kind of shows up a little bit here and there. Drew Holiday's been putting in some work, so I'll give him a little more respect right there. But no, man, Giannis, Giannis is right there, bro. Like he's trying to carry that team. He wants it. It's now or never. You have to put in your best guys now. You have to put everything you can, full throttle, move forward, because you'll never know if you have another opportunity right here. Let's be honest, bro. James Harden is considered one of the best players in the league today. He's never made an NBA Finals outside of that 2012, rookie Thunder time. Like that's the last time he's gone. He hasn't done shit in 10 years. It's tough to get back to the finals. That proves it right there. It doesn't matter that he had the Warriors to deal with or the Spurs or now LeBron's Lakers and shit like that. No, it's tough to get to the finals no matter how good you are. Giannis might not be back in the NBA Finals ever again. There's just no guarantee. So they have to go at it now. Look at someone, and I told you this last week, look at someone like Todd Gurley. Todd Gurley had his one opportunity in the Super Bowl, back in Super Bowl 53. Whatever you want to talk about that Super Bowl, being the shitty as fuck, whatever, it was boring, it was slow, it ended in the lowest scoring game ever, 13-3, whatever. Todd Gurley will never, ever get another opportunity at the Super Bowl again. Because Sean McVay pulled him, said, you're too hurt, we value you, we want you to come back next year. And where is he now? He's not even in freaking LA.
Yep.
He got shipped off to the East, and they don't even know what they're going to do with him. So he's going to just be a free agent floundering around, and he'll never get another opportunity again. Like, that's what I mean. Like, you have to pull the trigger. You have to go now. You don't do it now, what's the point?
And I agree with you on that. Like I'm not like I said, no disrespect to the Bucks. Like I like the Bucks. It's a good team, and Giannis is a great captain. The only reason why I'm saying that is because Chris Paul wants it more. That's my edge on why I think the Suns will take it in 5. And like I said, and I told you this, if they go past 5, the Bucks will take it. Just because if they go past the 5-1, I have a feeling the Bucks will take it. Just because I feel Giannis will get healthier, and he's going to destroy the Suns on that. That's what I'm saying. Like, if the Suns take it, it has to be in 5. And I want the Bucks to win, but I said it's going to go Suns 5. Now, I think Giannis is in that talk, just like LeBron James. He's not in a super team. So Giannis is like, he's great. He's taken a team that, it's not a contender, but he took them all the way to the finals.
We're talking about a city. We're talking about a city that's not even popular. It's small market. The disrespect to them is real, but you see the passion. You see the fans outside. 25,000 fans outside of Game 3. That's fucking insane, bro. That's more than what the arena could hold. Like, we're talking about a city, and we know it. You've been here. You've lived in this city long enough. You know how San Antonio feels about their Spurs. Like, like, we're gonna go honk in the streets. We're gonna be going fucking loco, puro pinche Spurs, not sports, Spurs. Hey, but hey, puro pinche sports is kind of like, all right, right? It's a little bit, no? Okay, cool. Anyways, moving on. Like, it's real. The passion is real. And Phoenix is feeling that too, because Phoenix was asked for the longest time. That was my point. We're seeing 2 teams that were disrespected by the league, by its best players, by the league itself, that they're small markets, so we're not going to promote them more, or they're just not good enough. Or we have an analyst who say, well, these guys should leave this city so they can go to the big city. I would love Damian Lillard outside of Portland with the Lakers. I would love Giannis outside of there and in New York City. Like, what are we talking about here? We don't stop trying to feed the shitty teams that, always need to have the big names. How about we fucking balance it around, support every team? Look at for example, and I'm gonna rant a little bit as a Spurs fan. The Spurs fans know this very well. We got one national televised game this year. Did you know that? I don't even remember which game it was. I don't know if it was TNT or ABC, but there was just one. Just one. And actually, it was scheduled to be none, but we just ended up, because I guess all the virus games, got affected. So we ended up being the one. We got switched over there. Like, okay. That was ass. And that's how every small market team feels. So good on the Bucks. Good on the Suns. You're there. You're getting the recognition you deserve this year. I do agree. Chris Paul is hungry as fuck. He's made Devin Booker hungry as fuck. DeAndre Ayton hungry as fuck. He's making all these teams, all these players, recognize his talent, his leadership that many people neglected. James Harden neglected it because he wanted to be the guy in Houston. Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan neglected it because they wanted to be the guys in LAC. Jordan's just ass, so he had to get out of there. So OKC recognized it, and they weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs that year, but they made it because of him, and now they're where we thought they would be a year later. Chris Paul is going to be a Hall of Famer. I think he'll be a top 5 point guard at the end of his career. This will be the year he wins his championship. I mean, that's what my prediction is, right? But Giannis is going to push that team, and it's going to be a well-earned championship, and it's going to be a fantastic series, no matter who ends up winning. I got Suns in 7. I think every home team will win their home game. So tomorrow night in Game 4, I have Bucks tying it up, and then moving forward like that. So that's gonna be fun. So if that happens, your Suns in 5 shit goes away.
Yep.
And we have an exciting finals to end July. Mike picked the Bucks because he's wants to see Giannis go all the way and win it. Jesse picked the Bucks as well. And mind you, Jesse doesn't know much about basketball, so he just went with whatever Mike does because Mike is the most knowledgeable out of all of us when it comes to basketball. Like I'll give like that's his respect. Like he put in the work attempting to be in the NBA, which he's still doing to this day, and he's gonna have the most knowledge on that. So that's why I bring him on for that shit. Any final thoughts on the NBA Finals, Art?
Nah, man, whoever wins it's gonna be great though. So far it's been an exciting series, so I'm just happy to see a good NBA Finals. So from two great teams, so I'm just excited about that.
I apologize if y'all could hear my 8-month-old fucking screaming his head off over there. Like, what the fuck? I'll spank him later. Anyways.
He wants to be part of the podcast.
Oh, yeah. Anyways. Another topic we talked about last week that I think was an important issue we should talk about was the Sha'Carri Richardson situation with the Olympics and all that stuff. Now, Sha'Carri Richardson, for all those know, is a track athlete who was banned recently from competing in the Olympics, essentially, for 1 month because she took cannabis. She got high. She says it has to do with the situation about her mother's passing. And as much as we all feel for her, some of us, we have to understand too that there's rules in place. So Art, I'm gonna go ahead and let you speak on that. What are your thoughts on the situation with Sha'Carri Richardson and the whole Olympics and USADA and everything about that?
So, I mean, first of all, we've seen this.
Sorry, WADA. Sorry, WADA, not USADA. Sorry, go on.
So first thing, I mean, we've all seen different types of sports kind of going into the legalizing of athletes being able to use it. And if they test positive, they don't get kicked out or fined for whatever reason, as long as they're not enhancing drugs. We did have that conversation last time that, like depending on the type of body, depending on your body mass index and all that, like, yeah, weed or cannabis does affect you differently. It does linger in your body. It may enhance your mental ability to compete. So in some way, it could be considered a body enhancement. However, there's been proven that it's not. It helps with injuries and everything. But that's, I guess, that's where the fine line stands on what is considered a body enhancing. Mm-hmm. And I know we all four agreed on that. Yes, there's rules and everything. And I think that's the biggest thing that the association was trying to show. There's rules, you have to follow them. And hey, we're not there yet. So should they legalize it? That's up to them. I believe that the NFL and other sports have done it. Might as well get into that talk and seeing the possibility of legalizing it. Now, in respects to her, though, and her reaction, and I told you, I commend her for that. We've seen that a lot of athletes, a lot of people in the past year have been using the, and I hate to say that, but like the racist card or the segregation card on, it's a black athlete, it's a Mexican athlete, it's a white athlete, like whatever your ethnicity is, like they've been using that to promote awareness on that. Now, the way that she took it, she was, what? It's not my year. Maybe next year we'll win it. Not next year, but the next time the Olympic come in. And she took it like a champ. She said, there's rules. I agree to that. I'm sorry for doing this. Sorry for the people that I let down. Sorry for letting the USA team down. But she took it like a champ. She acted like a grown-up. She didn't use it as a Black Lives Matter or, as a racist card on that. She used it as a, yes, I got penalized for it. I'm okay with that decision. And yet again, she took it like a grown-up. And I think that's what we've been missing from a lot of athletes in every league and every sport, coming from that, saying, there's rules. I'm okay with that. It's not because of the color of my skin. It's because of the rules, period. So for that reason, I commend her for doing that and taking that choice on saying, I'm okay with the situation. I'm okay with the outcome.
And I want everyone to understand too that me and Art, along with Justin and even Mike, we've had serious discussions about like the race issue, a lot about racing sports and how we've had a lot of possible like controversial discussions about this. Some that didn't go pleasant, and amongst with other people, and some that respectful. At the end of the day, I just want everyone to understand, like, we're not when we say like didn't use a race car or anything like that. We're not trying to knock people who are, but we just don't want it to always feel like, if I'm being victimized, it's because of that. It's other things as well. Not as well. It's other than that, I should say. In this situation, we have many, fantastic Black athletes, men, women competing in track, in other sports. And we can't wait to see it July 23rd, starting July 23rd when the Olympics begins. And we see a bunch of different sports that some of us don't even recognize, right? Like some of us that don't even believe are sports and shit like that. But it's going to be amazing because we're going to see true talent come out. The same way we saw Simone Biles, the same way we've seen Michael Phelps and all this other shit. The issue that I do disagree on, though, is that we've had athletes that are white, and even other colors as well, who have gotten a pass, right? Like they've smoked weed or they've done something wrong, and then they were allowed to compete. I think that's the real issue that we have going on right now, is that there has been circumstances before where they've allowed it, even though that person got flagged for it by WADA or USADA or whatever doping agency is. I think that's the real issue, is that we've allowed people to still compete. Now, it might not be the people from this year, right? Like I'm talking about past years and past Olympic times, but I think that's the real issue we have, is that at this point, we're in 2021. We know better that weed doesn't, I guess I can't say, right? I've never smoked weed. I mean, I can't go there. Like, but for the people that I do know that have smoked weed, they tell me that it just depends, like, right? Because their body size and their body shape, it doesn't really affect them, and some do a little bit. I understand on the focus part. I think that's where I think more or less weed is where it keeps you more focused, right? It keeps you more zen, more prepared. I mean, but I don't know, right? Like we're just people talking. But for the people that do know, you know better as how it affects your body. And like we said, it affects everyone differently. It doesn't affect everyone the same way. So best of luck for Sha'Carri Richardson for whatever she continues to do. It sucks because the Olympics is every 4 years. And then she's going to have to wait about 3 for the next one because this one's a delayed one. Hopefully her legs and her body are going to be able to keep it up, and they'll allow her to compete next time around. Good luck to all the Americans. Good luck to all the athletes everywhere. I mean, we're Team USA, right? Because, we're in the U.S. We're from the USA. And Viva Mexico. But even,
there you go.
like started like, hey, Viva Mexico, bitch, because we don't fucking care about the Americans. Anyways, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. We love both America and Mexico. But good luck to everybody. We support y'all. But Sha'Carri Richardson, like you said, she took it to chin. She agreed, like, hey, I messed up. Well, I think we all agree, though. The rules need to be changed. I think cannabis needs to be removed altogether. If you're going to allow athletes to get drunk with liquor or alcohol, whatever it is, then you should allow them to smoke weed too. It's not cocaine. It's not something that's harmful to their body. We should be adapted enough to know that this is not as serious as steroids, as TRT, HGH, all this other stuff that's really cheating. So we'll move on from there. Art, this past summer, we've had fantastic soccer games, some football, amazing, from the Euros to Copa America to how the fuck you say that shit that we saw Mexico versus USA happen last month?
The CONCACAF?
Thank you. That shit right there. Because I can't fucking say it because my tongue is not going to agree with it. Art, give me your thoughts about how great it is to be watching some international soccer play right now, because last year we didn't have it. And this year they're making up everything for it. And then next year we have the World Cup. So just give me your thoughts on international soccer and all the competitions that have happened in the last month or so.
Man, it's freaking crazy to be completely honest with you. This whole year has been NBA finals. We're gonna have the Olympics. You're gonna have the soccer cups. You're gonna have the next NFL season. So all the sports are coming together. So it's, to be completely honest with you, it's so hard to keep up with when the games are for each one. However, all the matches that have been coming up for any sport and all the news that have been coming up with the sports on the NFL draft and coming up with deadlines and trade deadlines, the soccer, whoever got between Italy and England and Brazil, Argentina, like all of those things, and the Olympics leading up with Team USA now losing 2 in a row. Like all those news.
Basketball, yeah.
Like all these news on all the sports, it's freaking crazy. However, on soccer wise, there's been a debate wise between who is one of the best soccer players that we've had in our generation. And it's been between Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. So to actually see Lionel Messi actually winning one with his national team.
He finally won an international cup.
It's great. Like now it's like, okay, now where are we between those two? Who is the greatest one? I still think before he even won that, hold
on. I know you want to go there. I know you're excited. But let me first hear your thoughts on the Euros, because that just happened on Sunday. That was England versus Italy, and England's was the host, right? So I want to hear your thoughts first on that match. Then we could go on to the big debate out there. Okay, that's all. Slow down, Papa. Slow down. Simmer. We don't talk about soccer much here, right? So we gotta we're Puro Pinche sports, as some people would like to call it. Not Puro Pinche, right? But talk to us about how Italy defeats England in their while they're the host.
So going into it, I was like, okay, you know what? I honestly thought from the beginning, I don't know if you asked my prediction or not, I said Italy was going to win it.
Okay.
Just because I knew Italy wanted it. The way that they've been playing and everything, they've been strong. The whole game between Italy and England, they didn't let England do much. It was a lot of Italy and Italy and Italy. So yet again, whenever Italy would attack, they would have about 5 people on defense. So England knew Italy was coming to take that away from them.
To be fair, England did score 2 minutes into the game, so that really made Italy push that pedal, man.
And it's crazy though, because as a soccer fan, we know that if the team is the underdog, he needs to score the first 10, 15 minutes of the game and then just play defense and just hold. And that's what they did until Italy scored. So then it was Italy trying, let's just keep it. And they had the last 2 timeouts, the extra times, man, they had some crazy plays that I was like, all right, England took it. I was like, damn it, this is going to be disappointing. I was actually eating pizza at an Italian place, and they were not even playing the Italy game against England. They were playing the tennis match. So I was watching on the phone with my cousins, and man, the reaction when they got to penalties, them missing one, and then England coming back and missing another one, and then Italy scoring, and then missing, it was just back and forth. So
it was shocking, really. It was shocking.
And we've had that conversation, why, from my perspective, why hasn't Mexico ever made it past in the champion? It's because they always go to penalties, and we suck at penalties. And anyone who's played soccer knows that whenever you get to penalties, it gets into your mind. You're just there, the goal and the goalie. So yes, England missed those really, really important shots. But when you're there and you're trying to pick where to hit the ball to, and the goalie gets it, the chance for the goalie to stop it, it doesn't happen all the time. But we saw from both teams that they were able to predict where the ball was going to go. So it was crazy, man. It was
I think it was hell deflating to just every time when you saw, and it's I'll move on to this one next. It was funny to watch how England was right there because they're about to win it. They're like I think they're like in my opinion they're the rightful favorites to win it all. And to see how deflating it was, like when they missed those shots, and then when that last block and just to end everything, it's just heartbreaking to watch. I don't agree with all the racist attacks that happened to those three gentlemen. It was not right. It's not fair. They're athletes, guys. They're human first. Like there's fuck the color of their skin. Like they're athletes. I mean, they're humans first. Like, and they're athletes. Everyone's together. Everyone's playing. It doesn't matter what your skin was or your nationality. You're a person. And it just so happened the three misses ended up being on three black men, and that's not right. I think the English people that criticize them, or all the people that were fans and betting on them, need to fucking apologize. They need to shut down their Twitters, and they need to just shut the fuck up.
Sorry.
Oh my God. It's okay. Surprised it hasn't happened before. But it wasn't cool. But it's a sport, guys. Like, it's tough. Like, just imagining that one-on-one moment. You have the chance to do it. You can be smart. You can, like, psych out the goalie, make him fall first, and then kick. Because we've seen that happen a lot, too. But sometimes you're just confident in your skills that you just go and you want to kick it in a certain spot, like the top corner, and it just goes low, and the goalie gets it. Sometimes it's uncontrollable. I think it was fantastic for Italy. I mean, overall, in the end, I think it was like 60 years, almost 70 years since they won their last one. Fucking awesome! Like it's just awesome to see. Art. Let's move on to Copa America. We saw Brazil, the host, lose to Argentina, which ends up being, like how you mentioned, Leo Messi's first international cup title. He hadn't won one before. He had won many with Barcelona. He had won many of the, what's it called? Ball de Oro?
Del Balón de Oro?
Yeah. He had won all those. And so he was always being compared, like you were mentioning, with Cristiano Ronaldo. But he just needed that one. Ronaldo got his in 2016. He hadn't gotten his. He hadn't won a World Cup. He had got close in 2014, but he hadn't won anything yet with Argentina. At one point, you mentioned it. You told me last week. Messi wanted to quit. Messi didn't want to play for Argentina anymore. He was so disappointed, so deflated with everything. Tell me your thoughts on how watching Argentina scoring early at the 22 mark, Mario Di Maria, right?
Yep.
I remember second. Angel Di Maria scores the goal at 22 minutes, and now it completes Messi's journey as Argentina for the most part. Give me your thoughts on the whole thing.
So, like I said, it's hard to keep up with all the games, and that game happened the same night as the fight, correct?
Yeah, it happened during the prelims. Yeah, at 7 o'clock.
That same day, I was at a wedding. So I was trying to keep up with all the sports and everything, and trying to keep up with the wedding and everything. So it was crazy. Before we knew who was going to be the champ, who was going to go to the finals, I told you, if Brazil makes it, it's going to be super hard for them to lose it at home. Just because of, I mean, their game is great, but they're not the same Brazil that we've seen on other championships and everything. They're not the same team. They're missing some key players that we've known to be part of that team and create that. Like, I'm not saying Neymar is not good, but he jumps a lot and he dives a lot. Everyone knows it. Everyone says it. He's a great player. He's getting paid. He has a great talent. But when it comes to diving, I think he's one of the best divers. He should just go for the Brazil diving team for swimming at the Olympics, man. But I thought that Messi was not playing with his team just because from that document that I told you, like he said, I'm done. I'm never playing for them again. So seeing him there and say, this could be the last time. And say, I'm going to put my ego aside. And if I win, good. If I don't, whatever. We'll see what happens. But that moment that he scored, that Di Maria scored, it was like, it just, like
we're off to the races. We're off to the races. Yeah. We're winning. Let's stop them. Let's not.
It was just defense after that. So for him to win it and then get his two trophies, like he knew, I'm good now. I've made my point. If I make it in the World Cup, like if we keep going through, that's great. I don't need to prove that anymore. And I think that's not going to hold them back. I think the way that they're going to play at the World Cup is going to be better than they played on this one, just because he doesn't have that, oh, I've never won anything with my team. So this is going to let him play better than we've seen Messi play before with this team.
A load off his shoulders. Like he no longer has to bear the cross of I failed Argentina, my nation, my country. Like I failed, and no longer on his shoulders. Right? You're saying that's off. Yeah. Now he can play more fun the way that he should have been playing probably the whole time. Like I told you, Art, and many people know, I don't follow soccer religiously as I should. I think soccer is a fantastic game. I played it as a kid for 4 years, but I never really followed everything. I didn't. But when it comes to watching Mexico, when it comes to watching Team USA, more to the women's because the men's have been asked for the longest time. Let's be honest.
They're still.
Yeah, you could argue that. I mean, they beat Mexico last time we saw them, but you could argue it. Anyways, I know, and we can talk about that a little more in just a bit. What brought me into like liking soccer more as a casual, right? Because I wasn't even paying attention at all. Was when I was working, oddly enough, at Radio Shack. I had a coworker who was into soccer and wanted to watch the World Cup, so we would change the channel and watch it while on our shifts. During that time, that's when I saw Argentina play. I didn't know any of the players. So when I saw Lionel Messi, and I was like seeing how slick his moves were, how crisp his passes were to his teammates, how good he was playing. I didn't know this guy was being considered already as one of the best players ever. So like to see him go from there to go to the finals against Germany, which they ended up losing because Germany was just a beast that year, and to see how he's come along, and the talks are still going to be Ronaldo, Messi. Which one? I'm glad to see him finally lose that big weight on his shoulders, because for 7 years as a casual fan, I'm not saying like I'm not, I'm a bandwagon or anything like that, but he's just the first guy to impress me to keep watching. Right. So, I mean, I think that's fair, right? Like, am I a bandwagoner for that? I mean, you tell me.
No, and you're not, like, at all. Like, so I love Mexico. That's my team. Whenever they go to the World Cup, that's who I cheer for. Whenever they come here, I'll go see them against the USA. And, like, that's who I cheer for. Mm-hmm. However, the moment that I have the time to watch an Argentina game against Mexico, I just love watching Messi play. When Ronaldinho was in Brazil, I love watching him play. So it's one of those things that, like, like it doesn't matter what team they're on. You just know they're great players. And the reason why they're great players is, and this from playing when you were little, like It was a fun game. Like you play that with your cousins. Hey, you go to Mexico. Hey, what do you guys, hey, let's play some football. Like, and it's whether you know how to play or not, it's always that fun thing of like, you're just kicking the ball around, having fun with the family, having fun with friends. So
don't get me wrong. As a kid, when you don't wear the fucking cup because you're stupid as hell and you get hit in the balls 4 fucking times in one game, it's not as fun. But other than that, it was fantastic.
Never won a cup.
I never did either. But I mean, I was a kid, right? I was just stupid. It's just uncomfortable as fuck. But I love soccer. Like when I was playing it was fun. I should start watching it more. I think I will commit more to watching it, especially for our national teams. And when I say ours, I mean Mexico. Sorry, Team USA. No. But there's something about watching, and maybe it's because I don't get the chance to watch something like Ronaldo much, because I guess I don't know if it's because we're in the States or whatever. But I love watching Argentina. I love watching Messi. I love watching the gameplay, the smoothness of it all, and just. I mean, people will call me a bandwagon for it. I mean, that's fine. But there's just something that attracts me to Argentina. Like, I beat my friend Jay in a bet once, and he had to buy me a Messi jersey. That shit don't fit me now, but I had a jersey. It's just something, even though I'm Hispanic, I'm from San Antonio. I'm the first of my family to be American-born. Everyone else is Mexico. There's just something that attracts me to, like, I'll always love Mexico, but there's just something that will always attract me to Argentina. Be like,
it's just their game of play. It's just the way they play. Like,
it's a beautiful style, and
yeah,
it's not something I understand fully yet because I'm not into it as you or cousin Marcos or my friends Jay, Victor, and others. Like y'all know so much more. Y'all follow this game to a T, and they're just something that attracts me to Messi and Argentina.
and to like answer that is it's the gameplay. It's the way that they play. It's they play with fun, and you see that from all the teams that all the South American teams. They all play because that's what they love to do. Like they go, like you said, like on weekends they go and talk soccer with their family. I've done it since I'm little. Recently, what was it like about 2 months ago, I got the chance to go to Mexico City and watch my home team from
That's right. That's right.
like Cruz Azul and win the championship. And like even though like I wasn't inside the stadium because I for whatever chance we
Bro,
we couldn't go in there.
you gotta tell a story. You
They
gotta tell a story.
yeah, so they actually just duplicated, like they sold a certain amount of tickets. We bought our tickets before. We went with family, gone with my dad's cousins and everything. That we usually go to those games all the time. We got there to the door and they had actually duplicated our tickets. So the persons that duplicated, they went in front of us for 5 minutes. Like 5 minutes, if we had gone there 5 minutes before, we would have been in. But hey, like it just didn't happen. However, to be experiencing that championship after 25 years or 21 years, like 20 years almost, like not winning and actually seeing that and like having that with your dad and your uncle and like friends and family, people that you don't even know, like it's just a passion. And that's what you feel whenever you watch Argentina. Like, the way they play, it's like a team sport. They pass the ball and everything. And each team has their own way of style playing. And we've seen the reason why I get excited about Mexico, because we're starting to see that of, like, let's play as teammates. Let's have each other's back. So that's the fun thing. And I know that's why you enjoy football, because it's the same thing. It's a team sport.
Yeah.
So it's just a passion about watching any type of sport. Soccer, it's one of my favorite ones. But it happens, things happen, and I'm excited to see the World Cup.
So we've seen Argentina win Copa America. We saw Italy won Euros. Who, in your opinion, just your opinion, not like any betting odds or anything like that, is your favorites to first qualify, because they haven't qualified for the World Cup yet? Okay, so any team, right, is up for grabs. Who's your favorite, in your opinion, to win it all?
The World Cup?
Yeah.
I honestly, I think Mexico has what it takes to take it. They've always had it. It's just they always choke. But my favorite one now to take it, I would like, to be completely honest with you, I would like to see England come back and make it to the semis or all of that, the quarterfinals and all that.
Redemption.
Hey, why not? Like, you didn't make it, but it was at your home. Like, take it all the way. Argentina would be another favorite for me to see it, just to, like I said, to see Messi get that second title and be like, all right, he is the best one. He tops Ronaldo. But yet again, like for myself as a team, I think Mexico has the weapons to make it. It's just as long as they don't choke, they should make it all the way. That's my favorite team to make it. I want them to make it. But yet again, it's a passion of it. Like everyone's gonna say, you're crazy for saying that, but any true Mexican soccer aficionado, like they're gonna say, I want my team to make it. So that's my pick.
I have no one to say favorites. I mean, if I had to make my dream match, it'd be Argentina versus Mexico, and then I win either way. So, I mean, if I really had to like say it, like that would be my dream, and that's what I would want. But it's just, and I would have both jerseys on at the same time, and then rip off the one that lost. I'd be like, yeah, I was there for them all along. Bullshit like that. But anyways, good talks, man. So I'll go ahead now. Now that we've settled it, who is, in your opinion, the GOAT? Is it Ronaldo? Is it Messi? Now, Grace,
I'm gonna say Messi.
Okay.
For right now, Messi, and then a close second, I would probably say Ronaldo. But if we're looking at like a specific time frame, I still think the GOAT is Ronaldinho. Like for Messi to get to what Ronaldinho was, like he's almost there. Like I think he's close there. But I think greatest player that I've seen in my lifetime would be Ronaldinho. just because, I mean, yes, he was in Barcelona, same, but he did what he could do in Brazil. So Ronaldinho is the best one. He's a GOAT. And then if you start getting back and back, I mean, you have Pelé, you have the other guy from Argentina, Maradona. So, like,
you get the R's rolling right there when you start talking about
like,
soccer.
That doesn't sound right.
Your R's started rolling, so I was like, you felt
it doesn't sound right when you said Maradona. Like, I can't even say it in English. It sounds weird.
Sorry.
Right now, out of the two, I would say Messi over Ronaldo.
All right. I know there's a lot of people that will debate that right now, that they would really be excited. So if anyone's up for that debate with Art, guys, I would gladly, ask y'all to come on the pod and argue that, because that seems like some fun topics right there.
And if you don't believe me, go look up the video when Ronaldo's son met Messi. He was starstruck. He could not talk.
That's not fair.
And that's Ronaldo's kid.
That kid is stuck with his dad all the time. There's something special about it. He's like, this fucker grounded me. I mean, I don't like him. He grounded me. Like, that's not fair, Art. Like, you're turning a kid over against his dad. Like, come on now. All right. Any other thoughts about sports recently? I mean, that we've talked a lot right now. Just, like I said, this is only July 13th. Like we're not even halfway to the mark yet. Like, we still got a long way to go. Any final thoughts?
No, man. I think everything's great. Looking forward to the NBA Finals. Looking forward to the Olympics, and I'm excited for NFL fantasy. So I know that's coming up. So that's gonna pick up some of the podcasts that we do. But now, man, I'm happy. I'm excited for sports.
All right, man. We're getting internet issues, so just gonna cut it out real quick. We are Puro Pinche Sports, guys. Thank you for watching. We are out.